Remember that whole say their name spiel from the left-hand side? Say Breonna Taylor's name. Say George Floyd's name. Say it now. Say it now or you're racism. They don't so much want to say Seth Rich's name or Pat Tillman's name. And add Henry over here. They don't want to say Henry Nowak's name. Why not? Well, because it doesn't fit the agenda, doesn't fit the narrative. Therefore, no go over here. Silencio, if you will. CNN stories on Henry Nowak, 0. CNN stories on George Floyd, a fentanyl head. 107, that seems low. That seems low. I'm not arguing with Liz of TikTok over here, but 107 seems low. Media is the enemy of the people. Yeah. This is an incredibly sad story over here. We got to travel to the UK, but boy, it's coming to this place as well. Henry was stabbed at the age of 18 after filming a Sikh with a large knife. Now, not a sick person, right? A Sikh as a religious, one of those dudes with the long ceremonial knives that they're allowed to bring on to airplanes. They're allowed to bring into stadiums. Right? You can't bring a crucifix on an airplane these days, right? That's not allowed. Right? You can't say Christ is king. That's not allowed. But these dudes can walk around with knives. Now listen, I should be able to walk around with a claymore. All right, Deus Vult essays. All right? So Henry's videotaping this dude. You're not allowed to have a knife in the UK, right? So if you're wondering why Henry's filming this dude, first of all, shut up, right? The guy's out in public. There's no perception of privacy out in the public. And the UK has made butter knives illegal, right? So Henry's like, hey, look at this dude. He's got a gigantic sword. And so the dude says, well, I'll attack you. How dare you record me? After the first attack, Henry tried to flee, but then was pursued and then assaulted some more. The relatives of the perpetrator tried to cover up the crime. They took the victim's cell phone and hid the murder weapon. All right. So the police show up. Henry's on the ground. He's been stabbed. And the Indian dude goes, he racisms me. He said the S word, right? With a hard H at the end of it. How dare him? He probably thought the N word too. And so Henry is on the ground and he's bleeding out. And the police handcuff him. That's right. The Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Police said he must, because the Indian dude's sitting there going, he racism to me. The police go, well, we got to believe the brown person. I mean, certainly this white supremacist, honky cracker scumbag Albion over here must have racism. Every brown person's a saint. Every single one of them. Every single migrant, refugee, immigrant, and illegal alien would never commit a crime. It has to be this bastard Englishman over here. Right, Mark Ruffalo, you stupid tards? So anyway, Henry's over there bleeding out. They handcuff him because of the racisms involved, despite the fact that he's bleeding out. He's trying to explain to them that he didn't commit a racisms. But the police, again, so concerned about mean words, aren't so concerned about the dude's knife wounds. When the officers arrived, they handcuffed a severely injured boy while he was already lying in a pool of his own blood. His last words were an attempt to explain that he had not racially... Look, there you go. There you go. The guy's dying. The guy's dying and on his way out. He's still, I'm not racist. I'm not racist. That's what we've done. That's what we've done to our society. Western civilization. That's what we've done. Wow. He died trying to explain that he wasn't a racist. Meanwhile, relatives of the perpetrator mocked him and claimed that he was merely drunk. It is an anti-white system. Totally. Totally. Yep. So we need to make sure that stupid shit like this doesn't happen again. that maybe if somebody's bleeding and dying out, you don't so much care about the racisms. You care about getting the person some medical assistance, right? This isn't the same as George Floyd, by the way, because people are like, oh, well, you guys mock George Floyd. George Floyd was a criminal doing criminal shit, trying to hide his criminality. He took all of his fentanyl. He took his fentanyl stash and swallowed it because he was trying to avoid getting arrested again for selling fentanyl in the neighborhood. He died because of his own actions. This dude was stabbed to death by a migrant. And the migrant was afforded all of this. They're going, well, clearly the migrant couldn't have done anything wrong because he's brown. And the victim died out because the cops were so afraid of being perceived as a racist that they just assumed that the brown dude was 100% correct, that the guy bleeding on the ground was a racism. These aren't remotely the same. That Henry over here is a tragedy that we should be talking about, we should be shining light on. The other one was a political weapon. It's a dumb fentanyl head. But again, if you can't see that at this point, you're a dumb idiot, and I don't give a shit. I'm not trying to convert anybody. All right. But again, this is I'm all in on the mock racism at this point. We try to be nice. We try to play along. We try to be in accordance with normalities and civil niceties. And at this point, no, fuck it. At this point, no, because we're at a point. This guy died saying I'm not a racist. No, we're going to have to pendulum kick this motherfucker all the way to the other side. And guys, thanks so much for watching the video. Support the channel if you're only kept to date on the collapse of Western civilization. If we don't get our shit into gear, hit that subscribe button and make way, because the salt must flow.